Hey, I'm Mason Bayne, and I write music. I like to write music. Today I'm going to teach you how I wrote this song. It's a new single, Lydian. If you haven't listened to it, then please leave and go listen to it, because I don't know why else you would be here unless you heard the song and want to learn how to do it. If you have listened to it, this is how I did it. I'm going to break it down using this guitar. You might be a little confused, like, oh, there's extra string there. If you're not used to 7-string guitars, you can add a string to a guitar and have a lower note. It's neat. You can do extended stuff like neat stuff. You can almost be a bass, except for a lot worse. Anyway, the tuning of the guitar is a standard, so everything, this string to this string, is exactly the same as any guitar you've probably ever played. And then the low note is just a low A. For this video, I'm not going to be using the low A string, but I really like the sound of this guitar, even on the normal 6 strings that you'd find on the other guitar. So the way that I have it set is I have 2 humbuckers, but I have them split, two singles, and then right in the middle. So it gives me kind of like a Stratocaster kind of sound. Sounds nice. I'm gonna break down this video into 2 parts. First part is gonna be like how to play it, and the second part I'm gonna go into tone stuff, like how I get cool sounds and neato guitar. In the recording, I'm playing up here, so it's. But it's kind of complicated to explain chords up that way, so I'm going to take everything and slide it down to G major. The base of the chord is around a G major triad, so I'm going to have the chords somewhere around my face so that you can see the shape that I'm playing. I'm intentionally not using the third, the low third. I don't know, I just want to be more open, have separation between the notes. Another reason I did that is because I was playing with 4 fingers, and so I wanted every chord to have 4 notes, because my pinky's pretty bad when it comes to this pattern. The second chord is just still around that G major, except for we take the 5 and we put it up to a 6. The third part is a G major 7. So the 6 goes up to a 7, and then the last variation of the chord, the 7, goes back down to 5, but then the 3 goes up to a, sorry, not 3, the 1, the octave, goes up to a 9. Just a nice little calm repeating pattern, but it's got the nice drone of the G, so it feels like a chord progression, even though it's just kind of living on 1. The change happens when I go to this chord. It's kind of like an E minor 9, sort of. I was thinking of it as a like a D major triad, but with the G droning, and then I got rid of the D in the bass. I moved that to an E. It's like just smash 2 chords together, you know, with this thing. Next chord, it's so awkward to explain. It's like a D dominant 7 add 4. I call it what you want. It's a shape. And it goes back to G. My my logic in writing that was I really liked the idea of the bass line moving up and the top line. So I end up with, and the other notes are just nice notes. They all kind of still are open strings that I'm using and playing with the idea of that G major. So this has got the open G. The next chord, it has 2 notes from G. Then the third note, or the third chord is a G, so it's got all the notes from G. Those chords kind of sound pretty crappy when you just like strum them all at once, but when you separate it out, it sounds really interesting. That's kind of the general main verse. I have an alteration. So instead of going to the strange E minor 9, I just go to the D major, which is like a nicer variation of that E. Then I go to an E minor. For every one of these chords, I'm droning on G. So, I mean, all the chords have their own name, and you can analyze it all you want to. I was just mostly concerned about droning on a G for most of the song. The whole song drones with a G. So D to E minor, C to G, back to D. So that's all the chords. The hard part is the picking. So this is a banjo roll that I applied to electric guitar because I'm a crazy guy. I really like really good banjo players, and they, oh man. I just think that's the coolest thing ever. And the pattern is, if it was written out, it would be a 8th note followed by 6 16th notes. I think that would be a good way to like keep track of it when you're playing it. Yeah, you know, I don't really count aloud the steps to make sure I'm in time. It's just kind of, once you get used to it, you get used to it, and it does take a little bit to get used to. For me, it took like, you know, I've been playing for 15 years, and it still took me like 2 months before I could play this up to speed. So don't get discouraged, because it's fingers numbered 1 2 3 4. So 1 2 3 1 3 2 3 1 2 3 1 3 2 3 1 2 3 1 3 2 3. So the interesting thing is your thumb hits on the quarter, right? That's weird. I count it as quarter notes, but I think the way that it grooves would be more like 8th notes. So if you consider that to be the tempo. So it'd be, I would probably call that 8th notes and 6 16th notes. Tomato, you know? So the song essentially repeats that a whole lot. I think I might have had a couple variations in there, a couple little notes that, you know, spice it up, but essentially that's the whole song. So you've seen the chords and you know how to do it. Let's go to tone time. So this isn't going to be the exact same as the record because the original session I had got lost. But this will give you conceptually how I got the sound, and it should be pretty close. Part 1 is just I wanted a clean sound that was jangly but had a lot of good attack. Found this Brad Paisley patch that someone made, and it's pretty good. I don't really need the delay on it. I added a gate to it because the compressor by itself had some noise, so I got the compressor, but because I'm not playing super hard with my fingers, I wanted each attack to be able to come out even when I was playing soft. So that's kind of the foundation of the sound. Next thing I wanted to have some room behind it, you know, like the after the attack. So I built this patch, which also uses like a Dr. Z emulation, but the big thing is delay before drive and modulation. So that sound really doesn't care much about the attack, but it swells in nicely. So the way that I have the mod set up is here, but it's mostly with the delay. Got the tape age all the way up, echo mode 2, so I'm just getting like a quarter note thing going on. Crank the input volume into this, which depending on how I play breaks up nicely and gives me just good stuff. And then a reverb for even more room on the butt end of the sound. Also put a gate there because I didn't want accidental notes to come through. Drive is just a clone emulation, so it's just a nice drive, give a little bit of beef behind it. So again, back to the clean. Sound dies quickly when you add this to it. Get that thing to last forever. Third part of the formula is I wanted to have beefy low sounds, so I set up a octave down. Doesn't sound all that great when you're down low, but once you get up to where the song's actually played. In the original, I had it pretty beefy on the bass. I put a reverb on bass. You're supposed to not put reverb on bass because sonic reasons, but I don't know, it sounded nice to me, so I left it. I also put some chorus because fatten it up more. I just wanted it to be like this overwhelming low whoosh of beefy sounds. So when you combine all three together, if I don't end up with enough clarity, I have a acoustic guitar patch that I have here, just an emulation, so it doubles the sound and makes it sound like an acoustic. So when you add that in with this, there's without, there's with. So add in the other stuff. Without. With. Might be a little bit too much on the bass. So conceptually, break it down, we have initial sound, echo, octave down, and then acoustic to make it jangle. If I'm playing down low register, I'd probably bring the bass down because you don't need as much. My name is Mason Bayne and I like to write music, so I teach you how to write music. If you enjoyed this content, then subscribe, like, punch the notification bell in the face of the face. Just punch it or click it.